wait just 1 minute. If you guys haven't seen the first part of this preview picks and predictions video, head on over to the We Are RIZIN podcast and check out part 1 on their channel. If you're here from the We Are RIZIN podcast, or if you've already seen part number 1, sit back, relax, like and subscribe, and let's get right back into it.
Now, this is the one you are looking forward to. I'm not, but let's see. Maybe you can convince me. Yoshiki Nakahara taking on Young-jae Song.
The super rookie, man. And he's the reason. He's the reason why I think this fight's going to be awesome, because I don't think he's going to allow Nakahara to stink this one up. Because Young-jae Sung only fights exciting fights, right? Like, I swear RIZIN's gonna fall in love with him and probably just be like, oh man, like he's way more of our type of fighter than that of Nakahara these days. Obviously coming over from one where he was exciting, I want to say, where he was exciting over there, knocking guys out left, right, and center. But yeah, Young-jae Sung, 7-1-1 as a pro, 4-1 in his last 5, 29 years of age, 6 knockouts, 1 sub in his entire career. So 7 wins, 7 finishes. His only losses come via decision. This guy has, a Giga Chad.
Take a guess where that decision was from. Where was that decision from?
Oh, it was in road to UFC.
Yep.
Against a pretty good opponent too. So he's fought like pretty high level. I mean, ripped up AFC. Like he hasn't gone to Road FC yet. He hasn't gone to Black Combat, but he's ripped up AFC, and he's actually fought honestly like the best that promotion could offer a guy that they were building up, right? Like in his second fight, he fought a 4-2 guy. Third fight, fought a 3-1 guy. Fought for the title against a 5-2 guy. Knocked him out in the 3rd round, and he's just like you know how like Drew Dober's freaking quagmire ass unknockoutable chin was? That's kind of like his chin, man. He looked like freaking Zac Efron on The Juice. Like he can take a shot, grin, and just fuck you up like in the return. Very well rounded, amazing takedown defense, but just doesn't care about the grappling. If he has to, he'll drag you to the ground and just, when they hold you up against the cage or just like right on the ground, just go for the ground and pound right away. Even like if the guy just has one knee on the ground, like he goes for the finish. His boxing is really good. He mixes up the body shots incredibly well as well. And I think because of his takedown defense, even with the body lock trips and some of the judo throws, he's good at keeping the fights on the feet, and he's going to drag Nakahara into deep water. He's going to make him think he's fighting in one championship. He's going to make him think Shotru's in the corner, gun fucking clock, saying, you better win, motherfucker. I'm going to throw you back in the gulag, and we're going to see fight of the night here, I think.
By the way, also as well, AFC, they do English commentary, or they do English translations for their shows, right?
It's great. The one thing, and this is an asterisk to all the Korean guys, the AFC cage is tiny, dude. Like, it's smaller than some of like the Canadian regional shows. So again, we don't know if this is going to be in a cage or a ring, but if it is in like the cage, the RIZIN cage, it's still going to be a lot bigger. So I don't know if that's going to benefit some of these brawlers or make it tougher for them, where there's just more movement for some of these Japanese guys. So just keep that in mind as well.
By the way, as well, just some background on Song, he comes from Havis Gym, which is Stun Guns gym.
Oh, okay, yeah. Dude, he's good. Like, he's
which
really
stun
good.
Gun? There's 2 stun guns. Don't ask me to know which one it is, but it's one of the stun guns. Because wasn't there 2 stun guns that were in the same division in UFC at that time? Dong Young Kim, and then there was the other one. Remember?
Oh yeah. I don't even know who the other guy is though. I only remember Dong Young Kim.
Isn't that also what's crazy? The guy fought Shinichi Shimizu. Have you seen this guy Shinichi Shimizu? This is like the most insane.
Oh yeah. His record's insane, dude. 38, 28, and 14. 14 draws? Like what?
Because listen, he's from that era where if nobody got like a finish, it was like a draw, unless it was like a one-sided beatdown.
Dude, he's still fighting.
Yes, he just had a fight in Roman, by the way, as well.
Ineligible record. Ineligible win.
Yeah. But like just like he's been fighting since 2005. By the way, his first 3 fights went to a draw, lost. next 2 fights went to a draw.
Oh my
just imagine that like you just keep on fighting, you're getting draws. Is that just is I don't know, that just sounds so like demoralizing.
Yeah, honestly though, since 2009-10, he's only fought good guys. Like there's like 1 or 2 stinkers in there, but for the most part they're just like prospects, like a 6-1 guy or like a 5-1 guy who's like coming up, you know, very like yeah. Oof, he went through. It's just crazy how active he still is. Man, these Asian fighters are just built different, man, honestly.
By the way, as well, if you look up Song's record, that Ryo Takagi that he just fought is not the same Ryo Takagi that fought in RIZIN. Do not get those 2 confused. One is like the goatee. What is it? What's it? From Star Trek.
Yeah. This guy ain't great. He like can't even win in Pancrase or deep. But so that's what I'm saying. Jung-jae's Song. This is gonna be like a pretty big test. He's good. Like, you know, and in his title fights he fought good competitors as well. Easily his toughest test yet. But Nakahara is just not the same Nakahara he was in 1. And I hate to say that because like I've gone full heel on 1. I used to be like a 1 supporter and a truther. And I still love their Muay Thai product, but like as an MMA organization, they just aren't 1 anymore. And when Nakahara was with them though, they were arguably on Bellator's level. Like they were great. And so he fought in some really good fights and high level stuff. It's just like, I think Jae Sung's just gonna drag him into a brawl for the Korean fans.
Listen, and here's the thing. I mean, maybe could Nakahara grapple the decision, sure, but I don't think Kim. The Song's gonna fall into that trap. Nakahara is also a slow fighter. He's slow now. He's slow. And listen, for a guy like Song, you don't want to be slow against this guy because this guy is gonna come with just power and fire.
He's in his prime, ready just to like be unleashed against better competition now.
Absolutely, yeah. I pick Song by I'm gonna say a 1st round KO.
Yeah, I could see it too. I could see him stuffing a takedown, grinning, and like taking a punch and just landing that big straight right.
Would you say it's an upset if Nakahara won?
Not as much as like if Kintaro wins the next one, but yeah. Again, we don't have the betting odds until like the day before. I wish we had them ahead of time because I always love seeing the spread on the Japanese cards. And I will say this: the Tapology ones. It is a Korean takeover. Don't look at them. It's like every Korean fighter's winning, like, according to Tapology, which is hilarious, and I love it.
Well,
but
I definitely know that when RIZIN was booking the show, they definitely knew that they couldn't put every. It's not going to look good if you have if all of your guys, the RIZIN guys, are all world beaters and they're taking on these Korean guys and they're just smashing.
It's like when Cage Warriors used to go to Italy and it would be a slaughter fest and Italy would go like 0-8. Now it's the opposite. Now they're like they give all the Italians the shit English guys so that the Italians can be happy. But no, and I like how this is like balanced. Like this is a really well like the matchmakers did a really good job on this card.
Yeah, there's clearly some that are, I would argue, mismatches, but for the most part,
Souza's gonna get charged for murder, but you know.
I don't know. We'll come to that fight. I might have a theory on that fight, but we'll get to that. But let's get to the next one. Kintaro taking on Yeon-jae.
Bro, 5 years ago, Kintaro all day, every day.
Yes.
And again, take his age out of the equation. It's just like it's damaged. It's like dog years, man. He's 45 in fight years, and not the Nakahara 45. Like
I just also think Yang is just a better fighter overall. The only guys he's only lost to really good guys like Shibuyev. And the Kuramoto fight was a very close fight as well. And I didn't see the fight that he had with Nadine Erdan, but apparently he lost that one. I don't know if you saw that one.
Yeah, I watched that one. Like it was Nadine is huge. Like he looks kind of like Ruzaboyev in there, right? Compared to his opponent. So he literally just like landed some good shots on the outside and was able to catch him and just like finished him quickly. This is what I will say. Usually he gets beat by the guys who are better wrestlers. Like he's well-rounded. He is very well-rounded and he's in his prime, which is great against a guy who's not in his prime. But you said it, he only loses to good guys. And in some of the fights that have gone like the distance, like Kuramoto, for example, like that was a razor close decision. Radulaev is just built different. Like I don't blame him for that. I don't even judge him for that loss at all. And before that loss, he was undefeated, right?
That weird
performance in his last fight, but it was against you know, a really good guy. Again, don't look at his record, 16-9. He's solid and he's kind of a freak of nature. So yeah, I'm pretty high on him just on the Korean regional scene anyways. And yeah, this is not going to be good for Kintaro because Jeong-jae honestly could finish him everywhere. Ground and pound. Maybe not submit him unless he hurts him, but I think he could beat him ground and pound. And if it's just a straight striking match, oh man.
I would say if this were a few years ago, I would still pick maybe Yang, but I would say that he can't finish Kintaro because Kintaro used to be a hard guy to finish. Now I think he'll easily finish.
Now Akimoto is finishing him, and not to say that Akimoto doesn't have pillow hands, but like he's not the hardest striker.
No, he couldn't knock out Matoya. He should have been able to knock out Matoya easily, but no, he didn't.
Dude, I swear Matoya like is on the Russian gas right now. Like, and I'm glad he is because like he's wow, what a third wind in his, not a second win, a third win in his wind in his career. God, I wanted him to win so bad. I wanted him to win so bad.
Oh, it would have made things just so.
Dude, I was gonna get a deep tattoo if he won, honestly. Right across my chest. Superior roast. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, it's interesting that you'll see that often in Japan that guys who are on a losing streak or kind of down, they'll turn around at some points. It happens. I feel like a lot more in Japanese MMA than American MMA. A lot of guys who, like BJ Penn, never recovered from his downfall. Neither did Frankie Edgar. Neither did Brian Ortega. These guys who were at the top, and then they never
Moreno's the only one. Well, I mean, very few.
Yeah, very, very few. Aldo. Listen, people say, "Oh, Aldo got a second life at bantamweight." No, he looked awful at bantamweight. He looked like shit at bantamweight, and he only won because, you know, this is gonna sound like a weird theory. I think a lot of the guys he faced that he won were starstruck facing Aldo. I think that that sounds weird, but that's just my theory that these guys who should have beaten him were thrown off their game because I'm fighting Jose Aldo. And I've heard that some fighters do have some starstruck when they do face like a famous fighter. That does happen sometimes.
Bro, Izzy would have finished Anderson Silva if he didn't have so much respect for him. Let's be honest.
That's possible, yeah. You know, listen, you know, that's, you know, hey, listen, we've heard some fans think that Juan Archuleta didn't finish Ogi because of that exact reason. I'll let you guess who made that theory.
Oh yeah.
But we both agree, Jeong-jae, easy win.
Yeah, Kintaro 15-14, 1-4 in his last 5, and his win was against Daiki Tsubota. So.
That was a terrible win, by the way, as well. By the way, hasn't finished anybody since 2020.
Emotional damage.
Hasn't finished anybody since 2020, by the way, since during the pandemic.
I think he's gonna get knocked out. Yeah, like you said. I think he's gonna get knocked out.
Absolutely, 100%. This one, though, I'm interested to hear because we might have a different opinion on this one. Koji Takeda take on Hyukmin.
The Red Hawk, baby.
Well, what was he called before? He was called Captain Chun. That was his nickname before.
And then Black Combat was like, fuck no, dude. Like, that is a stupid name. We're giving you Red Hawk.
And he's been undefeated since he got that nickname, apparently, as well.
Dude, he's been looking really good in Black Combat. 4-1, 19 years of age. And he's actually, like, pretty big for a 19-year-old, which, like, man, when he like grows up and becomes like, when he's like in his mid-20s, he's gonna be an absolute beast. Probably gonna have to move up a weight class, honestly. Coming off a really good win against a 4-3 guy who he knocked out right at the end of the 3rd round. But what I will say about that fight, he doesn't have good defensive wrestling. Like, he will get out controlled. He won't get like beaten by ground and pound because he's good at getting himself out of bad positions. He's good at like butt scooting his way to like having his ass on the mat, back to the cage, and just kind of like settling there as everyone tries to pull off like the Khabib, you know, Dagestani leg lock to pull him off. So he's strong, and it's hard for people to like pull him off the cage and like take him down. But when people have him in the clinch or when he's on the ground, people can wet blanket him. On the feet, dude, he's a zombie. Like, he'll get hit and it doesn't matter. He'll walk through shots, and though his striking's not quick, he does have really good boxing. He does have power. When he lands his hooks clean, guys go down. Having said all that, it's just the speed factor and the fact that he doesn't have the wrestling. Whereas, like, what's one of Takeda's best skills? His wrestling, right? So I know Takeda, I know you're probably gonna mention this in regards to like moving down a weight class and just, you know, getting towards the end of his career could play a factor here. But I mean, this seems like a perfect like style matchup for Takeda. And it's like, if Takeda, in my opinion, and this is, I think Red Hawk will have a really good career and does have a chance to crack Takeda if he defends the takedowns or they get into striking exchanges early. But like Takeda, this seems like the path to victory served on a silver platter. You know what I mean? And it's like, if he loses, I think it's more of him shooting himself in the foot versus Red Hawk, you know, unless he lands the first shot on him, right? Then Red Hawk beating him.
By the way, also one of the things that we mentioned, I say a little about Black Combat is that during the breaks, they'll subtitle what the corners are saying. And it's very interesting to hear what they tell the corners, because I'm guessing, you know, I watched a fight with Hawk and Iron Hip.
Yeah, really good. It was a great fight, but like Iron Hip was doing really good, right? Like the third round was up for grabs until the last 2 minutes.
Yeah. Oh no, Hip was on his way to winning. He was absolutely on his way.
Left hook right to the temple, and it was good night, Jim Kite.
So Takeda, he has not looked good, I don't think, in any of his recent losses or wins.
Look who he fought though. Like way out of his league, in my opinion.
That Suguru knee fight was like, it was like somebody, I said in the review for that show, it was like somebody disconnected the controllers in the fires because nothing happened in that fight.
I feel like, yeah, both of them were to blame for that one, but I was more disappointed with Knee than I was with.
Oh yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
Me too.
Because yeah, Knee, like, I feel like you and I are like Suguru Knee's like biggest fans. So
was his biggest fan. Well, let's see with this fight coming up.
What happened, bro? Like, what happened? King of Pancrase, bro. Like, put down that crown.
I think he's been doing too many TikTok videos, too many of those. What was it? Bouncers say or whatever. Well, shit, bouncers says or whatever it is. But I mean,
he started to get more matches on Japanese Tinder, and now he's distracted.
So here's the thing. If Takeda grapples this guy for 3 rounds,
he's gonna win.
Yeah, he's gonna win. But here's the other thing as well. Takeda couldn't even submit Hagiwara when they fought.
Well, that's the thing. Takeda he's not a good jiu-jitsu guy. He's a good wrestler. He's kind of like oh, and no offense to Ota, but like Ota's ceiling is Takeda.
Yeah. I like
it's true though. It's true. Like, if Ota's striking gets a little bit better, congratulations, you're Takeda, who can't finish anybody. Unless it's Hagiwara, who has no grappling whatsoever.
The other thing also is I think Takeda's chin is, I think it's gone. I think the Gustavo fight, maybe the Rabanov fight from Bellator versus MMA, I think those 2 fights.
Well, then that's the Red Hawk could knock him out, but that's the thing. I'm like, Takeda just has to stink up this fight and make it a 3-round Takeda fight. Probably gonna get kneed in the ball. He's gonna get violated by the ref. Like, do you remember that, by the way?
Yes. Yeah.
Just straight up like cupping. I was like, what the hell? Just checking if one's still there. Like, geez.
Yeah. That was the Hagiwara fight, I think it was, right? That was a Hagiwara fight, I think that happened. Yeah. I have to go. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go with G though. I think G's gonna knock him out. I think we're seeing the end of. Takeda's athletic prime, and going up against a guy like G who's got that fucking power, man. And also, the other thing is, even if it's a 3rd round and he's losing, G's not going to give up. That's the other thing. Takeda used to drag the guys into water and drown them as a way to win. I don't think he could do that with G. I think he's not going to be able to break down G like that.
And G is getting better and better. He like fought not too long ago too, so that's just the thing. But I feel like that doesn't matter with most of the Asian guys, except for this next.
Oh wow, yeah. Well, actually, that was December. Okay. There was another one of the other fighters we just talked about just fought in like March. So
dude, they don't give a fuck, man. It's wild. I mean, look at Chihiro. Like, chill, bro.
Yeah, I do think I think Chihiro should take a little bit of vacation though.
Dude,
and it sounds
he has to. He's taking. It's because he's just taking so much damage. Like, their strength of schedule, like Kevin Holland, who doesn't take a lot of damage and can fight a lot. And then there's guys like fighting Doubtbeck, almost dying in there, and then coming back in 2 months when you didn't even have a camp. You just like kind of recovered from injuries, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I think we're both saying G.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm going with I'm still going with Takeda.
Oh really? Oh okay. Oh man. By the way, was G the one who had Sexyama in his corner for that fight?
I don't know, but I remember Sexyama being there.
Yes. Okay, maybe he was just there. That'd be great to see Sexyama in Black Combat. Is he retired though? No.
He's never gonna retire. I mean, he will. He's one of those guys. I feel like if you offer him something, he'll come back. It's like Shin. He's retired like how many times now? But like, you offer him a little
That's
money
true.
and he'll come back. I honestly I wouldn't be surprised if Shinya is in Black Combat at one point. Like,
Oh yeah. He's also got to do something in RIZIN at some point. I think he's got to do something like.
well, now that he is free from the ball and chain Shotri jail, right? Hopefully Kwon Won-il can be released too. Because could you imagine Kwon Won-il in like Black Combat, dude? Like, oh my god. Or honestly in the UFC, because he has great English and he cuts promos left, right, and center. My favorite. Oh man, I always remember he's like, Shatrian one told me I couldn't swear, but fuck that shit. I was like, oh my god, this guy's a gangster, dude. And he gets one fight every 2 years, and it's Andrade beating him every single time.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I would love to see Aoki and RIZIN just because. Listen, Satoshi's running out of fucking people, man.
Yeah,
Satoshi versus
Satoshi's striking's just gotten better. That's what scares me now against like a Shinya.
We'll talk about that later. But we'll talk about somebody who did fight Satoshi many moons ago. Johnny Case returning after it's been a while since Johnny Case's
I know.
Since the Noah fight didn't go his way, taking on Juri Ohara. Also been a while since he's been there. So not Japanese versus Japanese or Korean or whatever, but this is
But it's Black Combat versus RIZIN though, because Ohara's been like he fought 3 months ago.
Yes, he did. I think is he Black Combat champion? I believe now.
He lost the belt to Beom-jun in December.
Right. Then he has the lightweight title in Deep, I believe.
Yep.
That's what it is. Okay, gotcha.
And he's defended that twice.
Okay.
Dude, talk about like a resurgence of a career as well, right? Because like he's been around for a while. His record at 36-21-2 shows that like he's lost a lot, but it's because he's insanely active. 19 knockouts, 12 decisions, 2 subs, 28-16-2 in Deep, dude. Like, holy shit. And yeah, and has been fighting in Black Combat recently and doing pretty good, fighting pretty good competition. Like he fought Jung Hyun Park, who was 7-3. Beom-jun, that was like a really competitive fight as well. His striking's good. His chin is still there. I mean, only 4 losses via TKO. He'll get knocked down, but like he doesn't just, it's not like if he went up against a power puncher, I'd be like, oh yeah, he's gonna get tagged and he's gonna get absolutely murked. And his grappling is actually underrated. He's good everywhere. He just doesn't use it because he usually doesn't need to, because it's usually a striking war.
He's like one of the most exciting fighters that I don't know why RIZIN didn't use him more often, because he had that great fight with Gustavo. He had the fight with Yachi.
Yeah.
Which
when Yachi was good.
Yeah, Renato was good, but I'm surprised he never did a rematch because he did win that fight, I believe. He had a really shitty fight with this guy named Akira, but that was because this guy Akira just plays on people. No, this guy is
high pace.
He's high paced, but also for his weight class, he's like a freak of nature. Like he's 5'11", and you might he looks like he towers over everybody that he fights against. He's just looking down at them and all that, and he's tall, lanky. He can punch you from a foot away. He's got that huge amount of range. I don't know about Case though, man. Even though he missed weights for that Beinoa fight, he after that first round, man, did not look good in those next 2 rounds that he fought in.
Yeah, you said it. The first round looked like normal Johnny Case. Round 2 and 3 was like, oh man. And he even admitted, he's like, I was an awful performance. And it's like, he has power. We know that. How many knockouts is it? 18 knockouts. But he's just getting up there in age, and like Father Time's undefeated, right? Like he's just slowing down a little bit, and like the power is probably still there. But if the stamina, and again, bad weight cut, I'll take that into account. But like if the stamina and speed's not there, dude, like you just, especially fighting someone like Ohara, who's like similar age, like 34, and more fights than you. Like these are 2 veterans who've been around for a while, but Ohara is still fighting, fresh meat. whereas Johnny Case is losing to Bay Noah, who gets dropped left, right, and center by everybody. I mean, fun fight in LFA. It was awesome. I know all the Japanese fans are rooting for him, but like, man, did he make us sweat. Like, jeez, dude.
That's the nature of all Bay Noah's fights. It's like, this guy can get knocked out at like any moment.
God, it was scary. He almost lost. He won 80% of the moments until he got knocked down, and it was like, oh god. But yeah, I'm actually going Ohara on this one, man. I think if it goes the distance, he's gonna do like what Bay Noah did, just take over the fight. But either of these guys could get knocked out, but Ohara's just gonna land more, and he might even out grapple him if Johnny Case somehow, some way, like rocks him early.
And like, it's so funny that you bring up, that you also mentioned they're a similar age, but yet I would say it's funny that you would think that Case would not be as washed as maybe Ohara, just because of all the wars and just the amount of fights Ohara's been in.
I think he's been facing some injuries too later in his career, though, Johnny Case.
I think that's that too as well. By the way, crazy fact: Ohara made his debut 2010. By the way, 2010. That's
so crazy how much he's fought.
And yeah, he's fought like 3 or 4 times a year.
Every year.
I don't think I'm looking through his record 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, he even had one fight in 2020, by the way. One fight, 2021, 2022, 23, 24, 25. Even when he got Sulov stretched, he got his leg taken off, he still came back for a fight like a few months later. This guy is insane. I'm gonna pick Ohara as well. I think he's gonna chin Johnny, quite honestly. I think, judging from that Bay Noah fight, presuming he makes weight as well, I think Ohara's pace, Ohara's range is going to be too much for Case. The only way that he can possibly win is by submitting this gangly iron spider motherfucker somehow. But Case is not even really a submission guy. Really, he doesn't really do that. Like you said, he knocks out people.
He's done some boxing, and he hasn't done bare knuckle, but he did boxing like throughout his MMA career as well. I will say the only loss to like, other than the Bay Noah loss, only loss to like decent guys, like when Takeda was in his prime, he lost to him. Lost to Roberto de Souza in the title fight. Tofik, right? And actually has a win over Satoshi as well, right? So like he's had a really good career. It's just really that ended in 2022, and that's 3 years ago.
Also, he's not been facing like high level competition since that.
No, and he's had fights falling through. He's been injured. Like, I think, last fight kind of showed us.
He was supposed to fight Gustavo and Ali Abdul Kalikov. Those would have been great fights. I don't know why that RIZIN hasn't run those back.
Maybe the injuries.
Yeah, I'm picking Ohara to win this. Do you think he'll knock him out?
Probably. Or just a very decisive, end to the fight. Like, I think Johnny Case's face is going to be bloodied up and bruised, knockout or decision.
I'm going to say first round knockout. I think Case, I don't know if Case can be able to make it out of the first round if he doesn't get a takedown or something.
Speaking of guys who you think might not make it out of the first round.
I might not make it out of the first round for this fight. God.
Sucho Kim, Shoko Sato.
A rematch, 13, 14 years in the making.
Yeah, when they're both chinny and old.
This fight can either be really fun or it could be a nightmare for us, because I am not a fan of Shoko Sato. Every time I see Shoko Sato, I'm like, oh fuck, it's gonna be a Shoko Sato fight. But Kim is still exciting, even though he's been chinned in the listen, the Yang fight, you can't really, they butted heads. And so he got knocked loopy and then finished after that. But what I will say is he wasn't looking good before that anyways in that That's
fight.
true. Yeah. And then the in-away fight as well. But
this is another guy who has a crazy strength of schedule, right? And the thing is, he's been in some wars recently. So like in 2024, he fought 4 times. He fought Nakajima, which he knocked him out in the second round, so didn't take much damage that one. Then Inoue like beat him up pretty bad. Got a quick turnaround. Literally, what was it, like 3 weeks later, beat this 3-1 guy, made it look easy. Oh, it was Hyun-woo Kim, actually. Yeah, made it look easy against him, showed there's levels to this, you know, the veteran's back. And then, fuck man, another like 2 months later, he fights Ji-yeon, and he just looked gassed, bro. Like, he didn't look the same at all. He looked slow. He couldn't even keep his guard high. He was getting pieced up. He couldn't defend takedowns well. Like, openings were there. It was just bad. And I love Chul Kim. He's one of my favorite Korean fighters. He is getting up there in age. He has had a long career. The losses are I don't want to say starting to pile up, but like they're looking worse now, right? Whereas it was like close fight or war, now it's like he's getting beat up bad. And despite Sato being, you know, 37 years of age, long career, taking a lot of damage, he's only lost to like really good opponents recently, so that kind of scares me as well. Like Inoue beat him, Loman beat him, and Andrade beat him. And again, he's had 3 losses since 2021, and he's beaten really good guys. Like even in one, like he beat Kwon 1-0. I mean, he's beaten some decent guys. Now I look at it, it's like, he's beaten some decent guys. But even RIZIN, like he took on better competition in one. I will say in RIZIN, like I don't know, he hasn't really been tested as much as I thought he would be, and that's why I think it in a way just showed like, okay, he's championship level and you're not quite at this point in your career. But having said that, he's still hard to finish.
So I don't know. Do you believe in MMA math?
No.
Okay.
No.
So the guys so Kim has beaten Sato in their first match. Kim has also beaten Nakajima, who also beat Sato. Jae-hoon Moon was beaten by Kim, who also beat Sato. If you want to make a connection that maybe the MMA math may work this, maybe, who knows. Did you happen to see their first match that they had on the road? Okay, so for that fight they did the extra round, I think it was, right?
Mm-hmm. Which is fun. I like how Korea does that.
And in fairness, you know, it was ended by Dr. Stoppage, pretty nasty Dr. Stoppage. I will say that cut was pretty nasty on Sato. Let's fast forward. I don't know. I think Kim's gonna win this. I think he's had.
I think he's just better everywhere. I think he's a better grappler. I think he's the better boxer. I think he's the better jiu-jitsu guy. It's just like he's his own worst enemy right now. It's like, you know, to keep your guard high. You know how to defend takedowns. You know how to step in it. Like, you're good. You're champion, right? So that's why I think he was just burnt out in his last fight, because he didn't look like himself.
That was also like, that fight was like 2 months, 3 months since the Inoue fight, and he got knocked out in that fight. So.
Dude, it went from, so he had his first fight, and then it was 4 months later he fought Inoue, and then it was 2 months later he fought Hyun-woo Kim, and then it was a month and a half later he fought Ji-yeon. But bro, that was only 3 months ago. So this is why I'm scared, because it's like, if this was 6 to 12 months, he beat Sato, we're not even talking about it anymore. This was 3 months ago, right? And he got wobbled by a clash of heads and brutally finished. So I'm picking him to win because I'm just banking on him looking like the old Sucho Kim. But yeah, if Sato comes in at the underdog, that's a good bet, I think.
Well, this fight will also be I think will be the future of whether I pick Kim in future fights if he's
No, for sure.
Hopefully, are they gonna rematch Yang and Kim? Didn't they say they're gonna do that at some point?
Yeah, probably next month.
I hope RIZIN just steals that fight. I hope RIZIN just like tells.
Well, Rhodes' next card, the whole card hasn't been announced yet, so I'm guessing it's gonna be on that one. And if maybe Rhodes just been waiting for Kim to win so they can just like promote the fuck out of it. But
okay, yeah. I'm gonna pick Kim as well. But I think I think Sato. Credit to him, he's also like a hard guy to finish.
He's good. He's just not as exciting as Sucho Kim.
Oh, absolutely not. Sato,
he'll grind out a victory because his striking is like, I feel like he wants to look like Dominic Cruz, but it's just like, dude, just stop. It's like people who are good at DDR who think they're good dancers.
Yes,
it's like,
that's me trying to do DDR. What do you think? Satoshi Souza take on Won Bin Ki, 2-time Road to UFC vet, I believe.
This is what I wrote in my notes. I said, I think Satoshi by murder. He either could choke him to death, rip off a limb, or knock him into the shadow room. I think he could beat him wherever he wants. I will say Won Bin Ki is not bad. Like he's not a bad fighter at all. There's just levels to this, right? And it's like the guys that he lost to Souza would murk, in my opinion. So overall in his career, he's taken on good competition, 18-9, a lot of fights, 12 knockouts. He's got power. So if he lands, like, Satoshi doesn't necessarily have an iron chin, right? Like, we didn't get to see him get tested against Gustavo because he freaking murked Gustavo so quickly. That one hurt my soul too. He's no stranger on the ground, but I wouldn't say he has good grappling or jiu-jitsu. I'd say like his wrestling is sound. And yeah, road to UFC guy. He's fought 4 times, like you said, on road to UFC. He's been most of his career in road FC, but he's kind of fought on a lot of the Asian regional scene, not just Korean. Like, he's dabbled in deep. He actually won the title in Gladiator, and he's fought in Shuto as well. So like, well-seasoned guy. His record almost looks like a Wulin Fang guy's record though, and how it's like, you know, high-level guy making their debut, really high-level guy with a good fight that win or lose, you know, went to decision, 1 and 2 guys. So it's just like Satoshi has fought really good guys consistently for the last like 5 to 6 years, and dude, he's still getting better. At 35 years of age, he's still getting better. Like, how he took out Gustavo so quickly, I was like, okay, maybe that was a little bit of a fluke. And then how like easily he took out Karamov, I was like, fuck, man, this is one of the most well-rounded, you know, 155ers in the world.
What about the striking department? Do you think that Ki can possibly KO Souza?
I mean, puncher's chance, and I'm not even saying that this is like, oh, it's only like a 1% chance. No, like, he's a good striker. He could dodge maybe one of the big, like, overhands or straight shots that Satoshi throws, get in the pocket and land a good one. Does he have that one punch knockout power that could take out Satoshi? I don't know, maybe he knocks him down, but then if he pounces on him, it's like, okay, you're in my world, right? And the more time you give him to come back up to his feet, you just let him recover, because Satoshi's gonna sit there like the Oliveira Brazilian in him and just be like, I'm just gonna wait it out. Okay, I'm not as dizzy anymore, I'll come back to my feet. I don't think Juan Benkei will drag him into a firefight on the feet as much as he probably should. And I think Satoshi's going to understand the assignment in this one and probably feel it out a little bit. But if there's just a glimmer of like, okay, he's faster than me, take him down, submit him. He will absolutely destroy him on the ground.
Absolutely. I mean, I looking at Bin's record. I mean, he got submitted by Mansur Barnoui, who, Imagine a match between Souza versus Barnoui is something I would love to see.
And this is Barnoui in 2017.
Oh, so this
right.
was. I wonder.
This is Barnoui in Road. I think it was in Road where he submitted him, right?
Yeah. Was that part of the tournament? Remember that was a tournament
yeah. Which I like Barnoui, but like Barnoui's just like good everywhere, not great anywhere type of guy, right? Like he's fine. But
but Barnoui's just one of those guys who's like, you almost like.
He couldn't even win a Bellator title.
That's true. Man, though, but like, I don't know, like, the thing is, Souza can be beaten, but you gotta play the game smart. This, you know, I don't know if, you know, this guy he has his own gym called the Danger Gym, but he also trains with Korean Zombie. Korean Zombie should have, listen, you know, he got the first twister ever in UFC. But I think it was him. But there should be a okay grappling gym. Like, I would assume that he's coming in, he knows what Souza is gonna do. But I don't know, all these fighters should know what Souza is gonna do, and then they wound up falling into Souza's traps somehow.
Yeah. And Souza's striking's getting better, so it's like, oh no, like
that's the worst. That's the worst thing. Yeah, usually these grappling guys are shitty strikers, but Souza's
like that's the thing. It was clear with Gustavo, right? It was like, this is going to be, if it stays on the feet, Gustavo's gonna fuck him up, and then boom, Gustavo gets knocked down. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Now, okay, maybe a little bit of an early stoppage, but that's Japanese MMA for you right now. But
Souza's been on a roll. This guy seems to be unbeatable almost everywhere. I'm gonna say Souza for another first round finish from the king of lightweight in RIZIN.
They should have they should have put the title there just because there's no chance that Ben was gonna win it anyways, and then Souza could have just gotten another title defense.
Well, here's the thing. But if Ki does win, they're gonna give him a title shot. They did that with Kai and Kyoji.
Yeah, that's true.
There was somebody else also who it happened to. I forgot. But yeah, are you a fan of the non-title fights? I don't think I've ever asked you that.
When champions have a title and they fight
Like this, where Souza.
No, I don't like him, but that might just be because I grew up in North America, right? And it's just like, that's, as much as I hate to admit it, the UFC might have like tainted that on me. But no, I feel like if you have the belt and you're fighting in the weight class,
I know, I agree as well. But also, I don't like it because it puts miles on the fighters. Listen, imagine what happens if your champion gets injured but wins the fight. Now, like,
dude, Ally Quenta, even though Vegas said no, Dana was going to give him the belt if he won anyways, right?
Oh,
so it's
yeah.
just like, it's just one of those things where it's just like, that could have just not been a title fight and it would have been okay, but Dana was like, no, I'm still going to give him the belt. He's fighting the champion even though he missed weight, whatever. Like, the circumstances around that one were unique, but I bring it up saying that, like, you still are fighting the champion. If you win, even fluke, have the rematch for the title. Don't have the rematch if you win for the title again, especially if it's like odds are gonna be stacked against you twice in a row, right? Like look Matt Serra, GSP. Like history was, got back on track. The darkest timeline came back to reality pretty quick after that.
The other fight was when Izawa beat Hamazaki in their first fight. That was a non-title fight, and then they fought for the title and Izawa, whatever. Anyway, so it was a first round submission win. Yeah. And then he just adds another arm or neck to his belt.
It's sad that he's getting up there in age because we're only gonna have a few more years left, unless RIZIN just continues to not drug test him, which I'm all right with. Okay, because the selective drug testing in RIZIN is some of my favorite. Is one of my favorite things about that organization, because I look at this guy and I'm like, Brazilian. RIZIN star. Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, just keep him going as long as you can, RIZIN. If you can keep him going till 40, we'll keep watching. But this was fun, man. I feel like our picks are pretty similar. We deviated a little bit. I'm surprised of how Korean heavy you were on this one. I feel like if Jay Wolf and I were doing this, he'd pick the American and all the Japanese fighters.
Well, again, I'm going by also. Just like I see like how Case has looked in his most recent fights, Sato as well, Takeda. I mean, listen, Ji-yeon, and Kintaro. I think even if you were picking all Japanese, that's the one where you gotta be like, no, that's gotta be all Yang. I would say Yuri, Shin, Lotus. I feel like that can go either way. That's really a 50-50 fight.
Yuri Shim, don't let me down. I've been in your corner so much.
Kim and Usami, I feel like depending on how each fighter fights is also dependent. If Kim's gonna make it a striking fight, Usami wins. But if he makes it a grappling fight, Kim wins. And then the kickboxing is whatever. I mean, okay. Here's
I hope we get 2 knockouts so I can say fucking a Totoso.
Yeah. Well, here's like Kota Miura should win against Quan. If he does not, man, then close the book on that kid. I'm sorry. There's just there's times where you just gotta give up and just be like, this ain't working for this homie. You gotta pull the Sage Northcutt. You just be like, okay, this ain't working. This ain't working for Paige Van Sant. Go somewhere else. Come back. That's another thing. RIZIN will let him do some fights in deep, like you said. He'll get some easy 0-0 guy, maybe 0-2 even, and then he can get 2 to 3 wins that way, and he'll be welcome back in RIZIN. You can say that he's coming back to RIZIN on a hot streak and have him take on Catfish or something like that. That's fine.
Oh, gotta love Catfish. Gotta love.
And hopefully RIZIN. I hope the announcements be on RIZIN on TV. I'm hoping it is. I don't like it when they take too long.
They always do it though, because this happened with the last one too. It was like 3 days before it.
Oh
it
god,
came on.
Fight TV nightmares. If you remember when fight.
I know, that's why we just have PTSD. But like, I think RIZIN TV, they figured it out. Like it's been incredible so far. No issues from me. No issues from me.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. The only issue is that fucking Kondo won his last fight. I can't stand that guy. But anyway. Because they would have given him the same treatment. All right, go down to deep and get some fights, even though you're so popular.
Oh, you're talking about Hiroya. Okay. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I can't.
Because when you say Kondo, I'm like, are you talking about...
sorry. No, I just wanted him to lose so bad.
Oh, yeah.
And he looked so good in the win, too. So it's like, oh, maybe there is some. Billy, maybe there is something there. The sad thing is that guy could lose 10 times in a row and
he'll still get high-profile fights in RIZIN because he's Mikuru's best friend.
And he's popular on social media. And if you look at all the videos that were posted from the last show, his has like 1.3 mil.
Yep. Listen, that's just how Volkanovski can't get any views for his Volk Cooks videos. Meanwhile,
But Bob Sapp in wheelchair boxing in freaking Thailand can get 1 million views. I know.
I know. That's just how it is. That's just the nature of how it is. Sekizawa's videos are terrible on her YouTube channel, and yet, yeah, Hiroya is getting 500,000 views from thirsty Japanese women.
It's the market now, apparently. Apparently that's how RIZIN's selling all their merch.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yep.
Let's
go for it. I'm all
right.
for it.
This was awesome, man. Appreciate it. Excited for the next collabs. We should reconvene after on one of your guys' wrap-up shows, and we'll see how our picks did.
Oh yes, absolutely. Did you keep track of them?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good, because I'm gonna forget some of them, or I'll just lie and be like, oh no, I picked him to win. We have video evidence.
Well, guys, if you're watching, if you watched the first part on the We Are RIZIN podcast YouTube channel, then come over and subscribe to City Life. Guys, if you watch the second part on City Life, go over and subscribe to the We Are RIZIN podcast. They are how I get all my info on RIZIN first and foremost. They got great interviews. They cover even more than just RIZIN, but like just the Japanese MMA and combat sports scene in general. So until next one, Drew.